Today, we're going to be doing a video on The Last of Us Part 1, and to start it off, we're going to be using 800p at the lowest settings. And here we are in graphics, playing the game at 800p at the lowest settings. No FSR, obviously. Alright, there we go. Let's jump into what we can get. So at this point, it's been a couple of months. They've had a couple of updates out already. There weren't too many specifically for the Steam Deck, obviously, but the VRAM usage has definitely improved. The shader compilation at the start for your initial boot is definitely faster as well on the Steam Deck. I think first time for me at launch took like an hour and a half to do the shaders, and now after all the updates it took around I think half an hour. So it's definitely faster, and the game is actually doing much better as well in this situation, sitting in the mid to low 30s. Beforehand at release we were sitting pretty much in the 20s, the low to mid 20s, and occasionally into the 30s. But this isn't the most intensive situation yet, so let's keep going. I do want to jump over this fence and see how we do in this next scene. And then afterwards I'll go ahead and jump into a fighting scene as well with all the AI, and we'll see how bad it becomes. There we go, falling into the mid-20s, just like before. Game is feeling very sluggish and very laggy. GPU is fully maxed out, CPU is setting around 80% usage. But the clocks are obviously down because of the power limit. Alright, not too bad. I mean, it's actually pretty bad, but I think with FSR, might be able to get enough power for the CPU and GPU to be able to get 30 plus FPS. Alright. Now playing at the medium or high settings probably isn't going to be possible. But if we can get a stable experience going at the low settings or a mix of low and medium, it would be great. As you can see, the game doesn't look the greatest at the low settings either. A lot of blurriness. It looks like an upscaled PS3 game pretty much. And there's a lot of stuttering going up the stairs as well, which is kind of unfortunate. Alright, here we go. Should be able to see a couple enemies. There we go. Yeah, the game is becoming very laggy. Oh, 23 FPS was the lowest. Using extreme aim assist here. Barely even aiming. It's doing it for me. Yeah. So yeah, not the best experience so far. It's definitely improved a little bit from release, but I don't know. It's not fully there yet, and it might never be for the Steam Deck. We don't know. Alright, let's reset this. Use FSR. I'm going to use the quality preset, and we'll see what we can do. Okay, now with FSR, seeing a bit of an improvement, sitting in the high 30s now instead of the low to mid 30s. Massive stutter there. Going up into the 40s. The game looks fine, to be honest, with FSR 2.0. Or 2.1, I guess. Nothing to complain about. The stuttering is a bit annoying though. But maybe with a 30 FPS cap, that will also be fixed. Coming down here. There we go, falling into the 20s anyway. It's very close to the 30s though, sitting in the high 20s, but not quite. Maybe with a more aggressive FSR setting, we can reach 30. Ooh. Still falling to the mid 20s unfortunately. Let's see what we do near the AI. Alright, feels kind of laggy for a second. Yep, sitting in the mid to high 20s. It's definitely a slight improvement, but not good enough, to be honest. Not good enough. Alright, let's reset. Use a more aggressive FSR setting. Run it back again. Okay, third time around. Not seeing a massive improvement so far. Maybe by like 2 FPS from quality to balanced. At least the game looks great, you know. The FPS jump might be small, but the quality loss is very minimal. Alright, here we are again. There we go, sitting in the 30s now, finally. Getting any stutters? Getting a couple, unfortunately. And then down into the high 20s. But sitting in the high 20s / the low 30s isn't too far off anyway. But the main issue is definitely the stutters at this point. Alright, let's run it. Wow, sitting in the 40s now. Doing much better in this section. Much better. Alright, here we go. Oh, the stuttering is insane though. Yep, down into the 20s again. It's kind of unfortunate. I guess it's not too bad. We're sitting at like 28 FPS up to 29 FPS. So it's close enough. But still not ideal. Now, finally it's gotten put out. Use a 30 FPS cap and performance FSR. And see if we can finally get a stable 30 going for at least most of the level. Finally using performance FSR with a 30 FPS cap. Let's see how bad the stuttering gets at this point. I am getting some when I'm spinning the camera around, but as you guys can see, using 10 watts on the CPU and 3 watts on the GPU. So the game is very CPU intensive. Just so CPU hungry. But the graphics are still fine. I wouldn't pay full price for this game with the way it's running on the Steam Deck and how it looks, but on sale, might not be too bad. But let's keep playing, and I can confirm it or deny it afterwards. Alright, 30 FPS, there we go. Looking for the major stutters here. Doing mostly fine. We had a couple just then. This scene here should be very stuttery. Yeah, it is somewhat, but much better than before. Much better than before. It's a bit hit or miss, I don't know. Again, I wouldn't pay full price for this game on the Steam Deck, but I think it really depends on the person. Some people must play at the high presets or the high settings, and they want to get 60 FPS in most games, so if you're cool with 30 FPS and low settings, this might be fine for you. Alright, here we go though. This is the most important part. Will we stutter once we see the enemies? Please. Okay, we had like one, I think. Falling into the 20s. Not too bad, to be honest, actually. It's running much better. The stutters do happen still, but they aren't happening as often as they were before. And the FPS is mostly sticking to 30 now as well. We obviously do have some minor dips into the high 20s, but again, for the most part, 30 FPS experience. The game looks okay. The small screen definitely helps it. Alright, I think that's about it. The game's definitely improved over time. It's not there yet fully, but it can be played at 30 FPS now, for the most part. You will have some dips occasionally, and some stutters too, but it's definitely much better than launch. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time for the next video. See you guys there.